Welcome back. We're looking at the realities faced by immigrants and refugees to Canada today. The reforms proposed by Minister Kenney have met with scrutiny. His toughest critics have come from those who work firsthand with Canada's refugees. These are the uprooted. The United Nations reports there are 40 million such people around the world who've left their homes in search of safety and security. Some 10 million of them are refugees, people who've fled persecution in their homelands. Canada accepts about 10,000 refugees for resettlement every year. A small number find their way here to Micah House.
Canada has made an agreement with the United Nations that in receiving people from overseas who are refugees, that we would help in resettling and providing a safe place for them to make home.
Christians from a variety of churches and organizations have come together to make this home in downtown Hamilton, Ontario.
So from my perspective and from our perspective at Micah House, we look at the Bible and we would see that over and over again, there are teachings that would say that it is our responsibility to care for the poor and to pursue justice on behalf of those who don't have maybe the power to do that for themselves.
Micah House is only one of an entire network of organizations across the country that work to pursue justice for refugees. It's critically important work.
When refugee claimants are first coming into Canada, unless they're able to get to a place where someone will advocate for them, a shelter, or someone who knows their needs, there's a good chance that they will be extremely vulnerable and that they won't receive the services that are available for them.
We have just only $40.
This is what vulnerable looks like.
That's all the money that we brought, and 4 suitcases. That's what we have.
Paulina Sanchez fled her home country of Ecuador with her husband and young daughter, their lives endangered for refusing to pay bribes to local officials. When you came to Micah House, what did it mean to you?
We know that this is a Christian organization, and we really thank God because He put us in the right place. And my daughter begins to change. She was very afraid for all the things that happens because she always looks how the people attack us and shout and scream us and everything. And she was very shy at first. But when she came here, she said, I'm happy now, I am home, my home.
Providing that sense of home, even if only for the short term, is a beginning. But it's only a beginning.
Definitely advocacy is an important need. Correct information is really important. Someone that they can trust to help them through their processes, to help them find a source of income, to help them find shelter, to help them get into a community is really important. And then from that point on, I mean, the longer they're in Canada, the more needs they would have in terms of employment and education and medical help, medical resources, and community in general, I would say.
As executive director of Micah House, Scott Jones is critical of the government's reforms.
There's a real potential there, a real threat to politicize the process. The idea that you can start to make judgment about a person's claim or their case based upon their country of origin is, I think that's dangerous. It's not treating the individual as an individual needs to be treated, because that's how the people are arriving. That's why they're leaving their country. So you need to hear the individual situation before you can sort of blanket statement say, no, they don't qualify because they're from a place that should be safe.
If we don't get our refugee reforms right,
it's really not going to stop the flow of asylum seekers coming to Canada. That they will find a way because they're fleeing for their life. So they're going to find a way to get here regardless. And if they end up finding ways that aren't quite as healthy, if they're being smuggled in or something like that, then what we've done with our legislation is we've created a new underground industry that's harmful, traumatic, dangerous. It's emotionally, mentally, physically, and perhaps spiritually depriving.
Getting our reforms right will make all the difference to people like refugee Paulina Sanchez.
We love and bless Canada for all the things that you give. We want the future to be part of this country and give all that we can give to say thanks for all that we have received. And God always give you back more when you give. And I think this country is blessed because you blessed.
When we come back, they came in search of the Canadian dream and found something more. Stay tuned.